Hello and welcome along to the next instalment of my camper conversion YouTube channel. So this video is part of a series converting the VW T5 high top, and I've just finished building up a bed frame, and now I'm going to have to start making some cushions up and some upholstering of the cushions. So I thought I'd do a separate video. There's a full bed build video on my channel already. As this one's just going to be concentrating more on my first attempt at doing some sewing upholstery on new material that's going to be covering over this foam. Now, as you can see, the foam itself at the moment is a little bit too wide for the frame of the bed frame that I've built. So the foam itself is just going to be cut down using a straight bread knife. You can use just a normal bread knife or an electric carving knife. Obviously an electric carving knife will go through it a lot quicker, a lot easier, but it's also a little bit quicker and easier to go off centre as well. You do want to be trying to go nice and slow and smoothly when you are cutting the foam, because as I say, the cut edge is going to be your finish. I've already attempted this once before on a different van that I've converted. I didn't do any sewing on that attempt though. That was just a case of cutting down some leatherette and using spray glue to try and get the leatherette to adhere. It worked, it looked quite nice at the end, but it didn't quite look as nice and neat as I wanted it to. So this time round I'm going to try my hand at sewing some of the new material. As I say, the foam itself, because I'm using old caravan cushions, it saved a hell of a lot of money, because to buy lengths of foam, especially the width that I need as well, it would have been quite expensive. For the amount of foam that I'm using here, it would have been probably about £100 or so, if not more, and that's just for the foam, not including the actual upholstery material either. So by utilising old caravan cushions, didn't cost me anything really, because they came out of a scrapped caravan, but you can pick them up cheap enough online anyway, and for the amount of foam you get out of them compared to buying new foam, it can save you a lot of money if you're on a tight budget. So first things first, I'm going to have to get a knife out, get all the foam out of these covers, cut them all fully down to shape, make sure they're all lined up nicely and neatly on the actual frames themselves. Then I'll be able to take some measurements and start cutting down some material. Get the sewing machine out that I haven't used in 25 years, since I was in school, something like that. So this isn't going to be professional advice on upholstery. If you want that, there's plenty of more professional videos out there. This video is just going to be showing you what you can possibly achieve just by having a go, even if you've got absolutely no experience in it whatsoever. So I'll get the knife out, get all these foam out the covers, get cutting down, get sewing up. Right, so there's all the foam all cut down to shape. So that's basically what the sofa position is going to be looking like once it's all covered up. As I say, that's about a good few inches taken off either side on the actual foam, and then to make it up into the bed, this particular side will just slide across, that end one will move to the top, and that'll be a double bed with all of the backrests just being able to sit on there behind the kitchen unit. So that's all looking nice and neat. All of the actual cuts have come out nice and square as well. So now it's the dreaded time of getting the sewing machine out and trying my hand at some sewing upholstery. Wish me luck, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm just about to start on all of the cushions. This is the material I'm going to be using. This is standard grey leatherette. I'll put some links in the description for all of the actual equipment that I'm using throughout this upholstery video in the description below. So as I say, if you want to be looking for the similar sort of materials, have a look at the links. As I say, it's just bog standard grey leatherette, that one. For the base, I've got some anti-slip grip material. That's exactly what this material's sold for. It's normally sold in shorter strips for you to put on your dashboard, things like that. But this is going to be the base of all the cushions, just to try and stop the cushions sliding around so much while the van's in motion. On top of the cushions, if they need it, well, I'm going to be putting it on anyway, and I've got some 1/2 inch wadding there. I was thinking if the cushions aren't quite tight enough, then I'll be able to stick some of that on, but I figured I might as well just stick some on anyway. It's only going to add that little bit of extra comfort to the cushions, and it does mean that if any of the cushion covers aren't 100% tight, and that should take up any slack, but I'm aiming to try and get them all as tight as possible. We'll see how it all works out. Now on the back of all the cushions, I'm also going to be sewing in a zip. I've got a big, basically zip on a roll. There should be enough there to cover all of the cushions themselves, and that's just going to get cut down with a zip added to each one. There's a bag of zips there, so there's loads of zips basically just waiting to go on. So again, all of this was pretty much bought online, so as there'll be links in the description below. Check those out. And now it's time to start getting some of this cut down and get the covers done. So I'm just on with the very last section of the upholstery now. This is the wadding that I'm applying to the top of the form. This is 1/2 inch wadding, and it's just going to be adhered with spray adhesive glue after being cut to shape. Once it's all stuck, then it's going to be okay to get the cushions put back into the upholstered covers. I've finished all the upholstery now. I haven't filmed the rest of it. I'll show you what it all looks like when they're all back in the van in a second, just when I've finished the last couple of cushions that need the wadding applying. So I'm going to get this sprayed down just with some normal trim fix spray adhesive glue. I'll put a link in the description, as I do with all my videos, for all the equipment that I use. So everything that I've actually used throughout this entire upholstery process, there'll be links below in the description of the video for all the items that I've used throughout. So as I say, last stage now, I'll go and get this glued down and pick it all up when the cushions are back in the van. Right, so that's all of the upholstery fully finished off, all back in the van. As you can see, I think it's looking pretty smart myself, especially considering, as I say, this is the first time I've attempted any sort of sewing upholstery at all. First time I've used a sewing machine in 25 years, since school days type thing. As I say, I think it's come out looking quite nice, quite neat. Now if you start scrutinising all the stitching, you can see some parts aren't looking the most professional, especially around the zip areas, but all of those are on the rear of the panels themselves. Anywhere that you can actually see stitch wise, as I say, that looks all nice and neat going round. Same around there. As I say, all the corners, visible corners wise, they're all nicely stitched, they're all nice and neat looking. So as I say, for a very first attempt, I'm really pleased with how this has came out. Now to have had all of this upholstered and bought new, if I bought all the foam new, all the materials new, and got it all upholstered professionally, you'd probably be talking over £1,000 for all of these cushions. Just this big one alone, because this one's 2 meters long, over 50 centimeters wide, and it's 6 inches deep, all of this foam as well. So that alone would have probably been about £200–300. As I say, by the time you add all the rest up, you're probably talking about £1,000. Now cost wise for me to do this, materials, it was around about £100, something like that. And then it's just a case of a few nights of my time, and this is the final end result. So I hope this might give some sort of inspiration to people out there that might be considering doing their own upholstery if they haven't had any experience before. As I say, I haven't either, and this is my end result. Worst case scenario, if you do some stitching and it doesn't look nice and neat, just cut the stitching, take it out, redo it again. Just take your time and just, as I say, plod through it, and you can save yourself hundreds, maybe thousands of pounds by doing so yourself. So as I say, this is all in the seating position and it's all nice, neat and comfy. As I say, there's plenty of room. Backrests do the job nicely, they just keep your back off the actual ply board itself. As I said, they're really nice, really comfy, and as I said, because these are all caravan cushions themselves, this is what they were basically designed to do. Now, because of the grip matting that I've put in there as well, as I say, these cushions do not slide easily at all. So in theory, when you're driving around, hopefully they shouldn't be going flying left, right and centre every time you're braking or turning the corner or anything like that. Just because, as I say, that material on there is just really, really super grippy material. It's sold as anti-slip grip matting, so that's basically what it's there to do. So yeah, there we go. I'll put this up into the bed position just so you can see just what it looks like when it's fully made out into the bed as well. And there are all the cushions put into the bed position as well. It takes seconds to do, because to make it into the bed position I've just got a plank of ply there that just slides in and out from underneath this big cushion. Then that big cushion just slides out from there, just so you're not lying on a couple of smaller cushions made up. It's always more comfortable to lie on an actual wider, nice thick cushion. It still gives plenty of little space there as well, in case there are any little ones away with the trip as well. But just that there is over 1 metre wide. I think that's 1.2 metres wide, I think. Pretty close to it. And it's a full 2 metres long as well. So it's a really nice, really good size as well. Certainly shouldn't be any complaints comfort wise. And as I say, just with that upholstered material, just gives it that nice, neater, more professional look to it. So I'll just put it back up into the sofa position, and then that'll be it. So there you go, you could see that was literally just, what, 20 seconds or so, something like that. And we're straight back into the nice, comfy sofa position, as we were, in a nicely, freshly upholstered sofa bed, fully constructed. So there'll be a video on my channel showing how I've actually constructed the frame of the bed. So have a look at that as well. But in regards to the upholstery, that's everything done. And I say, I'm really happy and pleased with how it's turned out. And I hope you think it's turned out pretty well yourself as well. So if you did and you found this video useful, do give the video a good old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I say I'm documenting everything that I'm doing in regards to this van, everything I've already done with the T4. A few other vans are documented on my channel as well. And after this van's finished, there's going to be a minibus to come, so lots of content on my channel, plenty more to come as well. So as I say, give the video a good old thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Do you like this type of upholstery? Would you went for a different colour, different material? Let me know. I'll always get back to any comments that are left. And hopefully, I'll see you on the next video of this series. Thanks for watching. Cheers.